Broadcast, we live. I'll see you guys.
What is up? What is up? We are here on another episode of The Real. I'm your host, BG31, with the lovely Miss Monty Cruz. How you doing today, girl?
Good.
How you doing today?
Appreciate it, man. I'm doing good, BG. It's good to see you, my man, and also you, Miss Monty Cruz.
Yes, you got it right. You got it right.
I got it. So, yeah, I know we've been talking about doing a little interview and everything for a little while. So, finally got on here. I apologize because I'll be hard to catch up. I haven't done a lot of interviews. I've had requests to do some, but I've always just been so busy and caught up in just trying to make the videos. I was like not trying to get into doing straight personal interviews about stuff. And then also with the YouTube censorship and stuff, it just kind of made things hard. So I feel a little more comfortable, like I said, today, because now I kind of learned a little bit how to circumvent the system a little better. So we can have a little more open discussion without being all the way censored or suppressed. You know what I mean?
So we got you in your good day today. We got you in a good day.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good day. It's sunny out. It's a good day. You know, we're alive. We pure. You know what I'm saying? Pure blood. I'm sure everybody know what the deal is. So yeah, it's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and let everybody know, for those who have not watched your channel, give them the name. Obviously, it's Net Most Wanted, but let them know about it, and kind of tell them like what got you started with this.
Okay, I'll give you a brief overview summary. Real quick. First off, my channel, Net Most Wanted. I got it Rumble. That's where I put a lot of my work. I was using BitChute, but BitChute is not exactly who they portray themselves to be either. Now, I understand that, but I do use BitChute and Rumble because those are some of the only platforms we have at our disposal. But I do have 2 channels on YouTube. Net Most Wanted. If you look up Net Most Wanted, you probably find both of them. I think I separate them with like an underscore or something on one of them. One of them is my main channel that I started with, and then the other one is a backup that I created, one of my 3rd or 4th backups that I had to create because of my bad content or whatever I put out. So either way, basically with me, if you haven't checked out any of my videos or my content before, I kind of emerged in the pre-pandemic. Okay, I started putting out videos talking about a lot of truth about what was going on, like with the music industry and stuff. Kind of started there, okay, because I was a big fan of music. We all love music, right?
Yeah.
So I started off with some artists that I liked, that I noticed some things just wasn't right with, to be specific, like Tupac. I was a big Tupac fan growing up.
Who doesn't like Tupac?
Who don't like Tupac?
Exactly.
Like, Tupac was a good guy. He was a rebel. Tupac, I love Tupac. But like some things with Tupac started to kind of stand out to me as very questionable. Okay, and some of the stuff that he was involved with and some of the stuff that he talked about, it kind of put things in perspective for me.
Can you give us an example, like what?
Well, I listened to his music in great detail. Okay, because if you guys like Tupac, you always knew he had lyrics that kind of touched your soul, right?
True stories too. Yeah,
and you could relate to it. Yeah. So I got to a point where I would listen to his lyrics and wonder what he was talking about, what he was saying. And he actually mentioned, like Illuminati and stuff like that. And he would talk about microchips and things like that, talk about demons. If people don't remember, Tupac always say demons out, give me demons out. Tupac would speak on this on a regular basis. And when you just listen to music, you don't think nothing of it. But hindsight's 2020 here, and today we realized that he was talking about like real demons and stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was something that I started to come to grips with. Some of the stuff that he was saying when he had the album that he put out, Illuminati. Okay, that
Mm-hmm.
kind of really set the table for what happened to him. Right, he started going against who,
Mm-hmm.
and they came after him like instantly. Okay, but when he was in prison, he was talking about, oh, they're trying to come get me, and they was like, who trying to get you? It's like the Illuminati trying to get me. He's like, nah, I'm killing that. I'm not with the Illuminati, this, that, and the other. And he ended up getting out with death row, and right away he started throwing up the symbols. Okay, and I'm like, well, what is that about? So that started to show me that at that time he went and he sold his soul over and did everything that he was supposed to do to get involved and get out of prison and everything, and signed his life over to death row. Okay, and that's when a lot of that music that he started putting out really, really took off. Like he became a national spotlight. Like once you do that, once you sell your soul, like they
Mm-hmm.
got the bags waiting for you, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And for the longest, I didn't want to accept that Tupac had went that route. I
But
was
don't
just
you think that that's kind of like selling your soul, selling yourself, like your
yeah,
life? Don't you think that
Exactly.
they control your life? No,
yeah, they do. They control. I mean, for the most part, they control your bank accounts. They control the
they
people
control
around you.
everything and everything.
Yeah, he had the police. Remember, he would talk about they had the rap police following him around, setting them up and stuff. You see, and I try to put this in perspective in a video I made. Tupac got in trouble, remember, and they said, oh, he did something to the girl and everything, and he's talking about he actually touched her butt or something, and they made a big deal about it. Which
Mm-hmm.
after that he got it. He went to court and stuff, and they was trying to throw him in jail and everything again, but he got
Mm-hmm.
off. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing happened with Kobe Bryant. You see,
Mm-hmm.
like they always come for you, and you got to have a deal on the table. They gonna use you the way they want to use you. You gonna play ball. And if you don't play ball, then they gonna destroy your career, or they gonna take you out.
So that's the
Simple
price
as
that they
that.
have to pay.
It's the
Like
price
if
you
you're
gotta
not
pay.
with them, they take your they end your life.
Yeah, basically, yeah. You basically sell yourself over to be used by Satan and his demons, the Nephilims and whatever. A lot of people go, they get on the religious aspect of it, and they don't want to look at the big picture of what it is.
Mm-hmm.
In my perspective, we dealing with one and the same. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
when you talk about Satan and you talk about demons and stuff like that, and you talk about selling your soul, and then you're able to be used by these demons or these spirits, these extra dimensional beings, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you come up with the possession and stuff like that. It's one and the same. Okay. With Tupac, when he sold himself over, he started making that music and everything. He started getting all that money, all the fame and stuff like that. But then he wanted out. He wanted out, and they wasn't
But there
trying to
was no
let him
way
out.
out into dead, into he was dead, or they
Right.
killed. You believe that they killed him?
I wrestle with that because I understand how this world works now. I understand how it works. And I don't know about Tupac. I believe they very well took him out, but
Mm-hmm.
I believe that they have ways of coming up with the clones and things of different stars that they
Mm-hmm.
want. Like Johnny
Yeah.
Depp and stuff, the stuff they go through. You see what Johnny Depp and stuff going through now, like Will Smith and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, like what your boy, what's the comedian Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Okay, whenever somebody speak out, they either they destroy their career or they take them out.
What
Okay,
about
like
Will Smith? What's going
Will
on with
Smith.
Will Smith? Yeah,
I believe Will Smith got cloned a long time ago. Him and
Chris
also
Rock. No, Chris Rock.
I don't know about Chris Rock, Martin Lawrence, possibly. You remember these guys? They go through these phases where they like, oh, something happened crazy to them. They in the hospital. They crazy. They crazy. And like Dave Chappelle's like, they trying to say I'm crazy. They trying to say Martin Lawrence crazy. It's in Cat
Mm-hmm.
Williams crazy. Why is all our black people crazy? Like why we always got to be crazy, but it's always on the heels of us like disclosing what the hell happened. Like
Yeah.
Cat Williams went and told you, hey, they doing this, doing that, and all of a sudden he's crazy. Cat Williams has lost his mind. He's a crackhead, this, that, other. Now y'all want to destroy him. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle needs medication. He was on Oprah talking about that. They trying to give me medication, saying I'm sick and stuff, trying to make me do this, that, and other. Now all of a sudden he crazy. You see, like every time something happens, when they got information or they don't want to go with that agenda, now you label crazy and they kill your credibility. You
Yeah.
see, and so now nobody listens to you. You look crazy. Okay.
DMX.
DMX, same thing. They come
Kanye.
after you. Like once you get Kanye, but you see what Kanye did. See, you gotta start looking at what happens to the people that come out and who they affiliated with and who they, rubbing shoulders with. And I don't want to get political and stuff like that. But Kanye went and he started going at who? Jay-Z,
I
right?
was gonna say about him.
Beyonce, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we already know. I didn't show video where Beyonce is being possessed. I didn't show you video where Jay-Z is up there talking about he's been taken over and he don't understand how he writing his music. Well, who writing your music for you? If it ain't you, who writing it? I don't understand. It just comes out. Same thing Bob Dylan was saying. He was like, I don't know how I wrote them songs. They just somehow magically got written. You know what? A demon wrote those songs.
Wow.
So you can kind of see, like, when people separate themselves from the Illuminati and they try to go in a different direction, something's gonna happen. They're gonna come for you. Remember when Wendy Williams, she was on her show not too long ago. I put a video out with that, and they was like, Wendy, are you gonna take the walk? You know what I mean? And she was like, no, I'm not doing it, Dr. Oz. I'm not doing it. And he was like, what do you mean? You got millions of people here listening to you, and you're saying you're not gonna do it. She's like, no, I'm not doing it. Now look at Wendy Williams. What's going on with her? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what's so same thing, like Bill Cosby. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. But you notice it happens a lot with our people, with black people that tend to have this happen to them. Now, I don't know if it's just a trend amongst black people or if we more likely to rebel against it as far as the stuff that they want to do. But you go, like I said, Cat Williams, you look at Dave Chappelle disappeared all of a sudden. You got to know when they disappear and the stuff like, oh, he's on a vacation, we just haven't seen him. No, they dealing with him. They dealing with them folks. Like you gonna come with us. You don't want to play, come on with us. We're gonna go talk to you for a minute. And then they gonna present them with your options. Look, you're gonna do this, do that. We're gonna replace you. We're gonna keep this money rolling in, and you just gonna be gone. So what's your choice? What's your options?
Wow.
And
I remember Shiloh did that video too.
You said what?
When Shiloh did that video after the Transformers, and then I think I seen Beef. Was it Beaver? Who had the baby with? Was it Beaver that had the baby with?
Yeah, you talking about Justin Bieber?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you seen like I said with Justin Bieber,
they killed my baby.
Yeah, but you heard reports about Justin Bieber too. About things that people seen with him. I've seen video with him. Like you start seeing different things happening with certain people, and you also understand who they tied with, who they in line with. And another thing we don't know and we don't completely understand is like who's affiliated to who through what bloodlines. Okay, these bloodlines are a serious thing. It's a serious thing, and we don't understand that. Like some of these bloodlines have royalty behind them. Some of them have been mixed before. They've been mixed to a degree where they're like, okay, these people are special, or they are, they shapeshifters or whatnot. So you start looking at those, and it's like, well, those people, they definitely gonna have, fame. They're gonna have, bank accounts that can't nobody touch. They're gonna have certain type of stuff that's extended to them that the normal people don't know or deal with. Okay, and if anything happens, they're gonna cover up the crimes, all kind of stuff. I mean, that's what the Illuminati basically is. It's a priesthood of regular people, but then you got your people that are not just people. That's on top of them.
Yeah. And I seen what was I gonna say? About that. There's been a lot of I guess videos showing that fact that that's what's going on, man. Like that's what's going on with the people being taken over. I think he said down here like in underground facilities or whatnot, and they kind of do their thing down there. It's crazy, man. Like money and fame, man. It'll take you to another level.
Yeah,
Money
it
and fame
will.
has a price, and that's the price they gotta take. You know.
Yeah, yeah. It's really crazy that some of the stuff that we do for money, but like they say, money is really the root of all evil,
Yep.
and they're on the money. They own the money, and we own the money because we know what's going on. You
Mhm.
know, a lot of people have no clue of what's going on. Like, I don't know if you
Mhm.
ever heard of the guy. His name was Todd. Dang, what's the guy's name? Todd. I can't think of his first name. John Todd. It was John Todd from back. I think he's like back in the 80s or something. And he was talking about like he grew up. He was satanic. He grew up in a satanic household and everything else. And he was a Luciferian. Okay, and he was very much in bed with the Illuminati and everything else. And he was part of the music industry, and he would talk about like going up in the executive offices and stuff, and they would conjure up demons and spirits and stuff to go into the music so that the music can have that negative impact, and these spirits can be placed on you, and these artists, they conjure up these spirits and things too. Just like when Beyonce performed at the Super Bowl and she conjured up the spirit while she was performing. Next thing you know, she turned into who? Sasha Fierce. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Is this a spirit from the past? The Sasha Fierce spirit? And she would do stuff and she would like, I don't even know how I did it. I didn't know that was me. And then you see the pictures and the videos of her, and it looked like she looked like a man all of a sudden in the picture. Like, man, that don't look like Beyonce no more.
Right.
Oh.
But they open themselves up. Once you sell your soul, you open yourself up to be used by them, so they can come in and out of you as they please.
Mhm.
So that's the things that they subject themselves to for that money that they got. You want that money, then you gonna take what comes with it, which is
Mhm.
demon possession and whatever else.
And people
Blood
like it at
sacrifice.
first. And people like it at first. They think it's awesome, you know. Who wouldn't like, being able to go travel the world, do whatever they want,
For the
see
money.
whatever they want, spend
Yeah,
whatever kind of money they want, and then all of a sudden when they're tired of doing it, like living a life that they haven't lived, that only lasts for the first like year or two. After that, you
yeah,
kind of get the soul back. You kind of like, wait a minute though, do you want me to do this, that, and the other? Like I was hearing that interview. I think it was on one of your videos, but he was just like, man, it's straight ahead, it's to the
yeah.
left
Yeah,
or to
Noriega.
the right.
Mm,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And he goes, I just so happen to choose straight ahead. And when you end up
right.
straight ahead, he goes, you haven't seen me with another hot
Yeah,
album. You
I
haven't
ain't
seen me
been
with
platinum
nothing
since.
anymore. My life
He
is
said,
back to normal,
right.
back to normal. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Like you said,
Wow.
I ain't been platinum since, man. That's a real thing. It ain't
Yeah.
so much about talent. I mean, look at the artists out here today. Listen to the crap that they put on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't tell one artist from the next. And I
No.
don't care to. And the stuff they talking about is a bunch of gibberish. It sounds like they casting spells in the music right there while you're listening to it.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. Like I took some shrooms one time and I
Oh
looked
my.
at the TV. You know what I'm saying? And I seen stuff like behind all the, stuff you think you're seeing, that you're able to
Mhm.
see deeper into it. And there's like a lot of subliminal stuff going on back there that, I
See?
think that how they say our vision is only on one wavelength, right? So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
put in another wavelength where our vision's not seeing it. And then it's really there. So you are seeing it. Your brain is registering it without you subconsciously knowing.
Yeah, and see that's a tricky thing because what drugs do, and it's crazy because they have an effect on your neurological system. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
they have an impact on your brain. Now, some of these things very well may have an effect on your pineal gland. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
which might open you up to see spirits and see things on another level. Now, they wouldn't tell you that, of course, because they don't do that. They try to do the opposite. But
Mm-hmm.
some things have that effect to where, yeah, you start seeing things and you start noticing things that probably wouldn't be there normally if you're only looking at it through your two physical eyes. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So, like, we understand that all drugs have some kind of chemical effect, and
Mm-hmm.
it's utilized to do something. And to put things in perspective, when back in the day when people had like certain problems, like they had problems like they would say was crazy or had something going on, usually, or it was sickness and things, they would usually cast out a spirit. Okay, cast out a spirit that has seated themselves in their, like, in their soul or in their pineal gland or whatnot, that was affecting them. Okay, so you would have to cast out the spirit. It wasn't that you was crazy or you was schizophrenic, but you had spirits on you. You see what I'm saying? So it was dealing with the spiritual realm at that time in the spiritual world. Well, the same thing they do now with some of the stuff that they doing. Like I talked about in my video when the guy, what's his name? What's the guy's name? Rudolph Steiner was like, we're gonna bring drugs in. So you see where I'm going? We're gonna bring drugs in that's gonna cut you off from being able to utilize your pineal gland. So are there drugs that you guys can use that will open up the pineal gland at the same time and give you an insight of you into the spiritual realm at times when you take those drugs? I'm sure it is, because you can't have one effect without the other. If y'all can do it, give us a drug to cut us off, there's got to be a drug that actually has an effect on the brain as well that does the opposite. You know what I mean? So you take that and look at it from that standpoint. It's like, well, dang, what have I really tapped into here? You know?
Fact.
So that's
shout out
something
to
you
Miss
gotta look
Black
at
Barbie with the $10 super chat. She said, "This is cool,
Miss
man."
Black
Yeah,
Barbie.
we try to bring you whatever cool we can. You know, we always try to get to you the best guests. We can talk about real life stuff all the time on the real. That's why the show's called The Real. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to keep it real with y'all and have some fun while we're doing it. But hey, shout out to you.
Yeah, salute, Miss Black Barbie. It's like my secretary, man. She be on top of stuff. Like I get flooded with emails and text messages and comments and material that I gotta look at, and I do not have the time to go through all that stuff. I try, but if the more people sending stuff, the more you get flooded, and it's hard to keep up with everything. So I need her to be there, you know, helping me out. She does a fantastic job, really does, man.
Yeah, my
really
little Miss Black Barbie right there. Yeah, she always dropping links, doing everything she need to do for me.
Yeah. Like you always need a strong black woman behind you doing something good in the background. I can tell you that.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
But hey, so tell
everybody,
how hard is it for you? You know, like we were talking about backstage, you know, when you are giving people information that is good, you know what I'm saying? Like, how hard it is for you to have to be like, man, I wish I can give all this out, but I can't, you know, because, you know, certain situations. Like, how hard is that for you as, you know, this is what you do, like, this is your thing, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's hard, and I say that because from where I've been with it, and to see how much they've tampered with me and my channel and stuff, knowing the amount of audience that I was reaching before and how many I'm getting now, it's like, okay, it's not even a fraction of the people I was reaching. At one point, I was reaching 2 million viewers every month. Okay, and it would be 100,000 or more some days that would see the material. So to go from that to now you down to maybe a couple thousand here and there, I know why they doing it, but I also be like, dang, am I reaching enough people? You know, so I feel good because a lot of times I do get comments and things from people, and sometimes people send donations and stuff, and they just thank me and give me, you know, that it's gratifying for me to know that I've reached somebody that can say, man, like, you really like saved me. Like, I did not know this information, and I didn't even realize when I was doing it how many people didn't really know as much as I knew, because some people just never traveled that road. You know what I mean? Like,
think about it. When I first started watching this stuff, man, I was telling people, watch this video. I'd be sending them off to my friends, like, hey, y'all need to watch this. This is some real stuff. Remember, this is some stuff we'll be talking about. And like, what? They kind of just like, you know, whatever, you know. But it's like at the same time, it's like to hear someone actually talking about it live, like letting it to a big audience where you can actually, because it really means a lot. You know, we are human. We should be able to say what we want to say. We should be able to do what we want to do. And we should be able to know when we're being lied to and when we're not being lied to. You know what I'm saying? We should know all the information. The average human on earth right now don't even know 1% of all the information that's going down right now. You know, and that's crazy. That's
crazy. And we being labeled outlaws.
Yeah.
You see, we being labeled these conspiracy theorists and everything. Like, guys, I really wish I was a conspiracy theorist right now. Because as much as I've had my speculations about what was going on and what was happening in the world, now it's like undeniable for me. So it's another level of awakening. Like, you might have knew truth and knew in the back of your mind, like your whole life, like something ain't right. But you can always kind of put it behind you and move forward as if it doesn't exist. But now when we're face to face with the catastrophes that we dealing with today, and you have to face this, like you walk in the store and you see the dang little the scanners and stuff that they putting over the doors and stuff to keep you from getting food and things, and you see these people that's going around and they lying and they putting out all this false information to push people to die and things, that can affect you. Like you can no longer look past it and go on with regular life, not knowing and coming to terms with it. It's right there now. So even the people that's been like asleep, a lot of them are like, wow. So they coming back to us, the conspiracy theorists, like, man, yeah, you said this, you said that. Well, what do I do now? Because now we have a more of a precious role in all of this than we ever did. Now you're getting respect. You get more respect from your peers. Like I got family members calling me, asking me questions now.
Right.
Friends and stuff asking me questions. Now they got their ear open. They listening. But before they didn't do that. You know what I mean? So it's
For me,
like I said, I don't reach as many people as I used to, but I still reach people. And so every life that I reach and I save, and I feel like I've been a part of that, I feel great about that, man.
heck yeah.
But somebody did it for me. I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't have talked to somebody and they wouldn't have talked to somebody and talked to somebody. So full
and
circle.
I just feel like conspiracy theory, like the whole word itself came up from someone that didn't want to know something. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. It's conspiracy, like, oh, I said this, that's not true. Well, what do you mean it's not true? I'm telling you. And he had enough power to be like, listen, we agree to disagree. We're gonna call it a conspiracy. We're gonna let it roll from there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of what it all comes down to with this whole thing. Most of the stuff is dead on, but and I noticed that they always like to tell us. See, I feel like this is where they get off. They tell you what they're doing, right? And that kind of clears them because they said it. They come out and they say it publicly to everybody. Everybody hears it, and you might get some rumblings going on, like, oh, what the heck, what the heck? But then they stop talking about it. They just drop it completely. You know what I'm saying? Again, so now it's just like everybody kind of forgets about it. You know how it is. We hear something, and you don't hear it again for a while. Everybody forget about it for a while, and they're like, oh, okay, they're going on about that, but but it's not like they never said it in the first place. They told you.
And see, that's why truthers like myself, that's why I come into play, because I go back, I piece this stuff together and I give it back to you like, oh, you remember this and you remember this now, and you go back 20 years ago and you grab this and you put it with that. Now you got the whole picture of what's going on and why it's going on. See, and like you said, a lot of people put it out of mind. And that's the thing, like, man, it's so much I've learned just by over the last couple of years about what's going on, how they do it. Like, even with the chemtrails and things like that, they specifically put certain toxins and metals and things in there that completely affects cognitive brain function and the ability to process stuff and put things together. So you start understanding why certain people, because certain people, guys, we have to understand, some of them have gotten more fluoridation than others. Some people, they got certain schedules early on in their life when they was babies and things that here we are today, and you can't understand why they not processing stuff the same way that you are. But then you go back to like Rudolf Steiner, and what did he say? We will be able to eliminate, that ability to think on that level. They'll still be smart, but they'll be the smart that we want them to be. You won't have a high IQ. We'll decide what is a high IQ for you, and you'll have that. But people like us that can think outside the box, we are rare. Okay, we are rare. It's not a lot of us out there that can actually see the big picture and say, man, something ain't right with this, something ain't right with that. It's like in a scary movie, you always see the person, they walking toward the danger, and you like, don't go over there. Don't run in that room. Oh my God, the killer's waiting behind the door. And they just walking like, I hope he doesn't think I'm coming in here. Oh my God, I hope they're not. And they just walk right to their deaths. And we sitting there the whole time screaming, what are you doing, you idiot? But they don't seem like they stupid in their mind. They think they doing the right thing. But we like, that was stupid. Why would you go into a dark basement where it's a killer down there with 2 knives in his hand and you walking down into the basement? What you gonna do in the basement? You should have went out the front door.
So true.
But we process things on a different level, man. And like I said, the stuff that I'm finding out now, I'm starting to understand why we process stuff on a different level. Why this stuff is so apparent to us and not others. Why you can sit there and talk to your family members, your friends and loved ones till you're blue in the face and they didn't register anything that you just said. This has been, they have spent billions upon billions of dollars implementing the program for like the Mockingbird Project, and on top of that, the fluoridating the water, and also they dropping stuff from there. Okay, so they're not doing this to see if it works. They already know. You don't put that kind of money behind something unless you know it's going to do what the desired effect. So who is it affecting? Well, look at the people that don't know what the heck going on. I mean,
those will be the people, the first ones to tell you that you're crazy. You know, you're crazy. What are you talking about, man? That's crazy. That's crazy. No, you crazy. It's in your face. Right here in your face. You see it. Man, this has been a long time for me. Like, I'm talking about 8, 9 years old, having to go into the pastor's office, you know, at our church, and having private sessions with him. I'm telling him, like, this stuff don't make no sense, my guy. Like, you know, like, and I'm a little kid, and I'm telling you this don't make no sense. Like, how all these people don't understand this stuff don't make no sense? Like, I don't understand. Like, come on. Like, come with me with a little bit more concrete detail, and I'll believe you, you know? But until you come with that, like, I got to see it. You know, that's why I said I want to go to all the caves, you know, all the hieroglyphics, and look at it myself, so then I can come up with my own determination what I think that's it. I don't want to watch something that you done gave me your theory. You cooked up, right? You gave me like a corner of it. This was peaceful happiness, but then you go right next to it and it shows thunder and killing and
exactly. And that's the part that people miss, and that's what we gotta revert back to, is that we only got the story from the people that wanted to tell the story. Just like today, we know what's really going on at the hospitals and things like that. But the story that they giving us and the rest of the people is everything is basically coming from these people or something, and you guys need to do what we say. Instead of what we really know is that, no, this has been something that has been orchestrated, and we need to do something different, because truthers like me and you and the others are out there telling you what's really happening, and we're here and we're being suppressed. So we're not the first ones to be suppressed. You see, this was happening in the 1800s, the 1700s, the 1600s. This information never came to the people. You know, we lucky now to have internet, have different ways to communicate. But how would people know back then when they were being lied to? How would you know if you shouldn't go and do this or do that, if everybody that's telling you is in power and they all got an agenda and they all carrying it out, and they're telling you, yeah, go do that, go do that, go do that, and you don't know anything opposite? All you know is what's being told you, the lies is being fed to you. So you do that, and then when you're gone, who's telling the story? The people that did it to you, the people that harmed you. They're telling you telling everybody the story. Oh, they died of this and that. Yeah, don't look over there. You're like, oh, okay, that's what happened. So yeah, we don't want you to die of this and that either. So you need to come do this. Okay, we'll do that. You see what I'm saying? So everybody's been conditionally programmed to accept the lies and believe in the people that actually are out to hurt them or harm them.
I tell everybody, we live in a country where it's like we're only learning what the winners want us to learn. You got like there's always two sides, and you can't say that it was just the good people all the time that won all these battles. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we love to believe, but there's battles being, you know, for histories of long time periods of time where, you know, some of those battles the winner did win. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why you think they keep so much information for us, because it's like we gotta construct this into a certain narrative, you know, to help fit what we're trying to do.
Yeah, we gotta be able to dissect. Like I said, I piece stuff together in just this short period of time that we've been living in and the stuff we've been dealing with. But who do we have right now that can piece stuff together from the past? You see what I'm saying? Who can tell us, well, what really happened during the winter of the White Death winter? Okay, who can tell us what happened really in the Great Depression? Who can really tell us what happened in the World War II? Okay, just like we look at 9/11 and stuff like that, like, oh, everybody believe 9/11 was, oh, they did all this, we got to go get them. They did it, and they put it on the news. Go get them. They did it. Go look over there. Look over there. Everybody like, yeah, we need to go get them. But who's telling the story and piecing together, say this is what really happened. You see what I'm saying? It's like, you ever had that friend they come and say, hey, don't be cool with him no more. Don't be cool with her because she said this and that about you, this, that, and the other. You like, all right, I ain't gonna be cool with her. But you never talk to the other friend to see what really happened there. And
Yeah.
then tell you like,
It's like the two
that ain't what
sides.
happened. Man, that girl came over here. She was talking about your mom, and I took up for you and said this, that, and other. And she gonna talk about we ain't gonna be friends no more. And then she left. And then she came over your house and told you a whole bunch of lies. Had you not liking your other friend and ready to fight her and telling you a whole nother story. Well, you only got the story from the person that ran off and told the story. And if you want to be ignorant, which we do sometimes, we don't want to go and be, you know, we too prideful. We don't want to go and talk to the people and give you both sides of the story. But you often find when you get both sides of the story, that other opposing view is different and it brings stuff into perspective. Like, wow, why did you tell me that you went over there and you said this, that, and the other? You ain't say that. You only told me that this happened. Oh, well, I didn't think you need to know that. Well, that's up for me to decide if what I want to know. And I'll judge and see who's right or wrong here. But don't lie.
Yeah.
Don't lie just so you can prove your point. And that's what tends to happen even today. Like the person that wins the war, or the person that's still alive, which is the people that they want to be alive and want to talk, they let them talk. You see, the people on the media, like we know doctors, all kind of doctors that speaking opposite of what the ones on the media are saying.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? All of the ones I know that's all they are talking opposite.
It's funny at all that the ones that are speaking opposite of these guys are coming up missing.
There you go. So you think they just start coming up missing today when they start talking? Or was this happening back in the
Right?
1800s too? When they was like, wait a minute, we found this, that, and the other going on. And then this is what needs to happen. And then all of a sudden, oh, you found out what's really causing the illness, huh? Okay, well, come with us so you can show us this information. And next, you know, they disappear. You never hear from them again, right? And then next thing they just say, yeah, we don't know. Because it was a guy that something happened like that. Was a Chinese guy that was supposed to be really on to what was going on. And he had some big information he was going to drop. It was going to bust it wide open. And he was just dead. He just died. And they was like, oh, he had some roommate just came and just killed him. Just happened to kill him on the eve of him broadcasting this to the world about what was really going on. Come on, man. You know, come on. And when I saw that, I said, yeah, this is way bigger than that, because they don't want people to get good. They don't want people to be well. This is all orchestrated. So that's the kind of stuff that we're dealing with. We don't have somebody that's piecing stuff together from the past and giving you the real of what really happened in these other situations, other you know, like I like to call resets and such. Okay, we've had these things occurring, and certain people have been involved with these things over this time, man. It's the same like bloodlines. Like them bloodlines run long and they run deep, you know. And that's why if you're a part of them, they're gonna take care of you. They're gonna take care of you.
At our state fair back in California, I remember I went once, right? And this girl was there with her grandfather, right? And they, you know, they had this big old like globe type thing, and it has like everybody's names, you know, all the world leaders, everybody's names, you know, special key last names. And like they said, the United States did it once where they tied the bloodlines together. But see, when they first did it and they did a registered copy of it, they only used the male side. So all the males, they went down bloodlines, kids, males, kids, all the way down the whole thing. So what this girl's grandfather did was say, you know, like that doesn't make any sense because it's girls too with the same bloodline. So why aren't you adding that in? So her grandfather went in and started putting in the freaking girl sides of each side of the family, how it all springs when they got married and those names and stuff like that into it. And it came up, man, we're all pretty much from the same bloodline on the most part. Like in terms of every world leader, every freaking celebrity, they're all kind of tied together on the same bloodline. But I think it was like King Henry the 13th or something, Arthur the 13th or something like that. But they're all tied along with the same.
Yeah, and them royals, man, you get start talking about them royals. It's a reason why they consider royal, you know, and they've been around a lot longer than what people want to understand or believe. You know,
My
and that's
conspiracy on that is they don't die.
yeah, exactly. And then it's the technology and stuff behind it. Like they understand, like they give us the technology that we supposed to have. It's like they give us the stories that we supposed to have. They don't tell you the technology that can blow your mind and be like, dang, they can do that. Why? Because that would expose who they are and what they do. So they're not gonna tell you what they're capable of. You see what I'm saying? Like you don't give your kid the best phone. You got the best phone. You know, just like when you got your first car, you had a decent car, but your mom and dad had the best car. You want to drive that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. Like they make sure they got technology that they can utilize that gives them power or more of an advantage over you. They're not gonna give you the same technology and the same knowledge. If I gave you the knowledge that what your spirit can really do, what your soul was really about, then I wouldn't have power and control over you no more.
Facts.
So why would I tell you that? Why would I give you information that's gonna allow you to be a more powerful being than me? You see? So that's what we gotta look at when people start handing out religions and things like that to try to keep your mind at a certain level. Okay, and that's why I hate to get into the biblical aspect, but I have
I
to
was
talk
going to say
about
that. What about the church situation?
because I mean, you look at the church as for what it is. I mean, how is it that you got evil people in church when the church is supposed to be holy or sacred ground? How can you be evil and go in the church and do the same thing and be worshiping God and claiming to be a sanctified holy person, but you got this evil in you? You know, like I said with the Pope and stuff. The Pope is
Even the priestess, you know, they're raping kids.
yeah,
You
they're
know,
right. The priests they involved with all that stuff, but then they leave you to formulate all of your life and everything around the same thoughts and religious beliefs that they have their stuff tied into with the evil that they doing. So they utilize it for what they want to, but they keep you in check. They keep you in check. I tell people the same thing, man. Like people don't want to they don't want to break themselves away from the thought that maybe some of the biblical teachings and stuff may be to detour you from some of the truth. And some of that is to keep you at bay, to keep you at a stagnant place in life and not have your soul fully evolved. Okay. And like I said, I don't say, hey, the whole Bible is bad and everything. I'm like, no, it's not. I believe a lot of the Bible, the teachings are good. And some of the stuff is some stuff you should probably familiarize yourself with.
It's like 50-50, right?
Yeah. Like
you for life.
Hey, think about this. Somebody took and decided what they wanted in there for you to know. No different than history. No different than the history. No different than what they doing today. They give you what they want you to know, and then they take out what they don't want you to know. There's certain books in the Bible and stuff that they snatch from you, saying, "Oh, we don't want you reading that. Okay, you don't need that. You don't need that. We'll give you this, and we're gonna add this to it, and boom, take that." And you're supposed to take it. So you have to look at that and take it in and basically dissect it yourself. For like, well, why are they doing that? What is the purpose? What are they getting out of doing that? Unless it's to hurt you and harm you in some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So like I talk about how they tell you to eat the flesh and stuff and different symbolic things. Well, symbolic things that you do can carry weight in the spiritual world. You know, people don't understand that. Like numbers and things. People play with numbers and those rituals and stuff. Those things have an effect. But people don't know it. Like certain words that you use, saying certain things in the atmosphere, that stuff has an effect. You know, like people don't understand that, but those that are in power, like even like I said, the illuminated ones, which they like to call themselves, they understand a lot of what we don't understand. And they are purposely keeping this information and stuff away from you. And then they tell you stuff to do that actually aids them in what they trying to do. You see? So you have to figure out for yourself. And that's where you have to have your own spiritual discernment and stuff. Like I don't like arguing and going back and forth with people over the Bible because people got their own thoughts, their own belief. And like, hey, I'm just like a lot of them. I was raised in the church. Okay. I was raised in the church. I was brought up with the Bible getting knocked over my head every morning. Okay. So, and I had my questions still, you know, like I always used to question like, well, shoot, if God, Jesus cares so much, why he letting all them people starve over there in Africa and Somalia and why they over there hungry? Them babies ain't did nothing, but they dying every day. Where is God in this? I used to have those questions, you know, and I used to see them on the news and on the TV to feed the children commercial. Like that boy look hungry. Well, God feed him. Why that baby over there dying? Like these are questions I had. I didn't have answers, you know, but they want you to buy into everything that's being said in there and I don't believe that everything is as accurate as they try to portray it to be.
You have
Okay.
a question right here that somebody wants to ask. They're asking, what would the world be if there wasn't any form of guidance or religion or some kind of structure?
Well, I think for one, I think people would more so search inside their own soul. I think they would be able to find themselves if it wasn't affected by the stuff that they doing with medicine and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
they've taken away your spirit, man, and then they gave you something to guide you. So you're going to be driven in a one way or the other. You don't
Mm-hmm.
know what life would be like because they haven't given you a pathway to have to find out. You know, as soon as
Mm-hmm.
you born here, they already hitting you with stuff that's going to affect you, and then they putting a book on you to say, hey, this is everything you need to know. Just do that. You know, so they have a way of controlling what they want to control. And like I tell people all the time, like they had to have other ways to influence your thoughts and ideas before they came up with the news and the television. They didn't just start influencing people's thoughts and ideas today. They had to control people from the jump. Like you said, the question was, what would the world be like? Well, the world would be very different. Okay,
Yeah.
because it wouldn't be no guidelines. So somebody came up with this stuff and put it here for a reason, so they can have some kind of guidelines and push you in one direction or the other.
Mm-hmm.
What you saying, BG? You
He's
muted right
mute.
now.
You mute. Yeah, you mute. No, we can hear you. Well, anyways, yeah, a lot of people are questioning about that, but like the evil, the church, the priests, they have a lot of question when it comes to that because they think that that's the worst of the worst because they praise to be something that they're not, you know, and those are the ones that do a lot of bad things nowadays too, you
Yeah,
know. Yeah.
they do. And how could they if they, if you really following God and you in the church and stuff like that, you shouldn't be able to do evil that you're doing. You know, the Pope shouldn't be able to be as evil as he is and still be following God and be praised as he is. You
Taking
know,
his word.
but you have to look at who projects the Pope onto the public. Who projects the Pope onto us? Like, hey, y'all need to. Oh, like he's somebody royal. Like, who told you? Who all of a sudden designated him the most royal minister of the world? Right,
Mm-hmm.
just like who decided Mr. Gates was the medical professional that we need to be following.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? They put these people in place where they want them. And they say you need to follow him. Why? Because he's an expert. The Pope is supposed to be an expert on religion. You see?
True.
So everything he do is supposed to be the golden ticket. And
Mm-hmm.
what was he saying? He was telling people they need to take the walk.
That's so true. That's true.
Along with Mr. Gates. So you got
Exactly.
them two basically working in unison together, and the Pope using the Bible to also tell us that's what we need to be following with him and what his agendas is.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to have a problem with that. I mean, for people to sit back and act like ain't nothing with that is
For the example, have you seen the movie The Da Vinci Code? A lot of people, when the movie was gonna come out, they started tripping a lot and making a big deal because they're saying like there's a lot of stuff that was gonna come out that nobody knew. Have you seen
mm,
it, or what do you
you
think
know
about that?
I'll be honest. I started to watch Da Vinci Code like 3 or 4 times now, and I didn't fell
Every
asleep.
part?
I didn't fell asleep every time.
Oh my
And so
God!
it didn't entice me long enough. So I'm a watch it now that you mentioned it. I'm gonna try and watch it. Just since you mentioned it again, I need to see it. I've tried a couple times, but it's obviously some information there that I need to see.
Yeah, there's a lot of people were making a big deal because they were saying that there's gonna be a lot of things that they don't want people to know that is hidden in the original Bible. Because I guess this is not the original Bible that we're getting.
Mm. I mean, shoot, between I've heard upwards to 100 different versions of the Bible. So every time, every different version, somebody decided what they felt you need to get. And then people want to say, well, you need to go to the Apocrypha, and then you need to go to this and that, and that's going to help you decipher. And this book was inspired by God. I get that. Okay.
Mhm.
It's inspired by God. That's what they like to say. But at the end of the day, a man still wrote that book. Okay, a man still had to get down and put his imprint
Exactly.
on that book. Okay, so when you want to say what God did and what God said, what the Pope is saying today, that God said that you need to take the walk. Is he inspired by God by what he's telling you to do? You see, and
Mm-hmm.
you go back, like I listened to some of the other whistleblowers and stuff in the past, and people that have been trying to put out information about what's going on about raising your consciousness and stuff. Okay, coming more acquainted with your spirit man, like Alice
Mm-hmm.
Collier was talking about. We
Mm-hmm.
had to raise the consciousness, okay, so that people could be able to ascend. Our
Mm-hmm.
understanding of ascending is going to heaven, okay, but ascension is
Mm-hmm.
also going to the fifth dimension, going to the dimensions above and beyond that. Okay, having your soul leave your body and be able to go to these other dimensions and whatnot. And what he was saying, and some of the stuff he was trying to tell us about, was that the 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 history has been altered. Okay, and they've been able to touch the book. Okay, they was able to do this, and these Nephilims and things, they had parts in that. The Greys and Nephilims had parts in messing with the book in order to control people. Now, how much of the book they affected, I don't know, but
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's been to a point to kind of keep you grounded in order to keep you from being able to be spiritually inclined, so you would know your full powers and be able to be telepathic and everything else and to connect to the higher power. So that's by design, you know.
Yeah, let's see if can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
You
Okay,
back?
yes. There, you're back.
They wanted me to shut up.
I know I was saying that shit. They're
They
trying to
came
hear
for you,
you.
huh? You said they came for you, huh?
I was like, whoa, come on now. This ain't never happened. But yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
Man. This stuff is, man, people just need to wake up and realize, dude, there's a lot of stuff going after. And it's up to you. You know, some people would rather not know about it. Now, like I said, everybody has the right to live the way they want to. Everybody has got the right to believe the way they want to. Like, that's why I say, even though I don't believe in certain things, you know, like, I don't try to force what I believe on you. You know, I could just give you information, the reason why I don't believe in it. Now, you can make your own choice whether you want to believe in it or not. And I think that's just how everybody should really, I guess, go along with life. I think people should care more. I care more about my life in terms of living longer, you know, being healthy and stuff like that, to the point where it's like you're seeing blatant things. Like I tell people, you know, we're supposed to live longer, in my opinion. I think we should be living a lot longer. You know, why would they do so much? Even all this cool stuff we think we got, all this technology, the phone, the lights, you know, everything. There's stuff that's in it that's killing us slowly. You know,
It's
at the
killing
same.
us. Yeah. And that's what, like, shoot, back in the day, I mean, you hear of people in the Bible living to 800 years old and stuff, like crazy numbers like that. Well, they've capped us at 70, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are they doing to cap us? Well, you look at all the
Mm-hmm.
stuff they putting in the food. You look think about the stuff they dropping from the skies, and people's coming down with cancer at alarming rates. You see people coming down with autisms and things like that, and you see people leaving out of here. 70 years old is a good number from what they say now, right?
Yeah.
So the people that's running this world are making sure that people don't live as long as they're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah.
now
So the longer
God
you
very
live,
well
the
gave
more
us
information you can
a
get out.
long life. You say what, BG?
The longer you live, the more information you can get out. You think about some of the most knowledgeable stuff that I learned from came from old cats, you know, and
Yeah,
you even be shocked, like even some old, you know, what we consider bums, you know what I'm saying? They're definitely some of the most knowledgeable ones because they had lives. You know, you hear about the stories how they had lives and they had things going on, and then you know,
right.
Mm-hmm.
there's all
But you
kind of.
know, it's funny. It's funny because in the movies they always had that bum or that
Mm-hmm.
person that's homeless that's out there trying to speak truth. They
Mm-hmm.
always in
Mm-hmm.
the movies trying to warn people about something or something. They on the street corner with the signs and stuff. The last days is coming, or they talking about some asteroid about to come. Like they be knowing the stuff in the movies. It's always the bums and people that nobody respect that's talking about it. And I know truthers that's like that now. That's like they in bad shape, but they putting out truth. You
Yeah.
know, is it because they're attacking them or they trying to make life hard on these people that's putting out this information? I believe so. You know,
Yeah.
so
But hey, man, it's been a great show. We're coming up on this hour mark, and I
man,
really
wish I was
love
that long.
having you on, man. We really loved having you on, man. Can you go ahead and like let everybody know one last time where all the locations they can find you at, so they can get your content?
Yeah. I mean, we didn't talk. I feel like we was on here for an hour. It don't even seem like it, man. That's how I tell my my people all the time. I say,
But hey,
hey
you
guys,
can,
real quick. I
we can do
always
it.
say that.
We can do it again, part 2, baby. I'm down
We
with
may
that.
have to do a part two because we still got to touch on things. But I always say real quick, and then I end up doing like 2 or 3 hours. So I'm guilty. This is my fault, probably. For running your show, I didn't took over and ran your whole show down. That's
No,
on
that's
me.
good.
Yeah, it's
It
all
was interesting. You had a lot of good things to say that a lot of people didn't know, and now they know.
yeah.
Yeah. And I encourage everybody, man, to do your research. Continue to do your research, dig, because you're not getting any kind of truth about life, about existence, about what's going on today, right
Hmm.
now, from any sources that's being pushed in front of your face. If anything's been pushed in front of your face, you need to go the other way. You need to run and run fast because
Hmm.
it's either
Hmm.
being put there to mislead you or to kill you. No other exception. Period.
Yeah.
But far as me, guys, like BG said at the beginning, I'm net most wanted. I have channels on Rumble. I have Telegram. I put stuff out in there. We have a community of people that goes in there and they talk about everything that's going on. I encourage people to get in there because sometimes I don't put all the information that people send to me, but you can talk amongst others like us because a lot of people don't have anybody to talk to, and
Hmm.
that can be hard if you don't have anybody. You feel like you alone, and like it ain't nobody that know truth for 100 miles. You want to be able to consult with some other people. So I encourage people to go to Telegram. Telegram is net most wanted. We have a chat, and also I have one where I just broadcast information. Also, I have the Rumble channel. That's where my videos are pretty much relegated to because I can put out some bit of truth there without being completely censored. But even they have been guilty of snatching videos down. So I will pre-warn you. I don't mess with BitChute because they really hit me bad early on. They stopped processing my videos altogether. I have a channel on there that has some videos, but I had to take most of them and start putting them on Rumble. Aside from that, YouTube, I do have YouTube. I always broadcast from there a premiere, when I premiere, I make sure that I direct you guys to Rumble to watch the video. So people just go on there to be there to chat with each other in the community. So that's pretty much how you can get in touch with me. Like I said, Miss Black Barbie, she does a lot in the background. She's usually available in the Telegram to receive information, and she's in the chats most times as well. So
But I can see people really love this show because they're like, hey, because I want a whole season of this. Forget a couple of episodes.
Exactly.
Go check
man,
on this guy,
it,
subscribe. But I'm
it
telling you guys, I've been following this guy for years, man. Years. And like, he's just putting out truth after truth video after truth video. So make sure if you guys would like this in any kind of way, you get over there, you go
that most wanted. And I always put videos out at least once a week. Sometimes I have to take a little break, but I usually try to get stuff out. I will be dropping a video between today and tomorrow, just going over some things I think is very relevant considering the current situation with the monkey business. All right, I put a video out about a little while ago about monkey business before this stuff all took place. So I'll be a little bit ahead of a lot of stuff that be happening sometimes. But yeah, I'm gonna put some more videos out, and BG, man, it's been great. I appreciate the hospitality, Miss Monty Cruz, Miss Monty Cruz. I appreciate you as well. It's been a pleasure being on here to speak with both of you guys, and hopefully, yeah, we can do this again sometime.
definitely,
For
definitely.
sure.
Hey,
For sure.
thank you guys in the chat because without you guys, this could not be. We do it for you guys. We enjoy you guys' comments. We enjoy everything you guys bring to the show. Keep doing it and keep up the good work, guys. Everybody. Any final words for you, Mary?
Nothing. We see you in the next episode.
All
All
right.
right, hey, let them know y'all are the resistance, whether you know it or not. Anybody knows truth, you are part of the resistance by default. All right,
Exactly.
Your part.
all right, guys.
All right. We out.